All righty, everybody. Thank you for being here. And I just want to say I appreciate my co-host tonight. We have Errol and also Horace that they got my back. As I mentioned tonight, both Dr. Prasad, who is on vacation, and Jonathan, who wanted some time with Joanda. Hey, everybody needs to have a little bit of a break, and I was excited to step in. You've got me tonight. I would say you'd have both Helen and I, and even it says Jeff and Helen down there at the bottom of your screen, but we actually have guests in town ourselves, and they are getting things ready for an evening meal and showing them the sights. We've got some time scheduled tomorrow to go to the Dinosaur Museum that is just right here in our neighborhood, if you can believe it. And just not too many people make their way all the way out here to the middle of nowhere, Wyoming, where we've got one of the world's largest mineral hot springs. And so it's fun to have some visitors here. And those of you who were on a little early, you understand what an incredible Sunday it has been for us already. But you've got me, and I've kind of quit perspiring. I'm back doing good. We're back in air conditioning. It's not that hot here. We were in the high 80s, like 88 to 92 roughly. A little bit of cloud cover and a little breeze. So it was just a beautiful day. And I'm just grateful to be here with all of you. So on the calendar, it referenced that tonight we were going to be talking about gut health. And I'm just so honored to be able to do that, because one of the things that's really made a big impact in my life is Dr. Prasad's formula on gut health. And there's I'm also going to tease you with a little bit of well, look at this. Look what I have in front of me. We'll be talking a little bit about this before the evening is out. And just as we get underway, I'm going to do one of these. Our new vice president of marketing and sales, John Barton, talks about ripping it and tipping it. So Mm. That's the way you do it. Little tart. My mouth is watering. But oh, you guys, I know it's going to be a great next half hour, 45 minutes, as we go through things in regards to the gut health. And I wanted to just do that because it's truly the way that I enjoy the micro daily. We still have the capsules, but I love these packs to do what I just did, and that's immediately get it into my system. It's amazing to see what it can do. In fact, we got a call Thursday evening, just right before close of business, and Robin Hanson, the president of Engage Global, or Engage, says, "Hey, guess what's happening tomorrow? They're actually bottling the micro daily, what we call our omega-3 daily. Would you and Helen like to be here to film it?" And we absolutely jumped at the chance, but we'd already had a full day, and so we're traveling on Tuesday evening to the Salt Lake area, actually Orem, Provo area, and doing what I just did here in front of the camera is what made it possible for Helen and I to make that trip that late in the evening, because it just opens you up. I mean, there's no caffeine in it, there's no stimulant. It is just your whole mind comes alive and you can focus. So excuse me just a minute. I like to leave it in there about that long. And if any of you have done that, you know how sweet the water tastes after after you do a rip and tip into your mouth. Anyway, we're having some fun here tonight. Thank you for being here, for being part of our Micro Daily family. And I'd like to start into this evening's discussion, and we're going to have some questions and answers here as we as we go forward. But let me do this because we're talking about our gut, and Dr. Prasad has referenced multiple times that the father of medicine, Hippocrates, is credited with a statement that you're going to see here in just a moment. But who is Hippocrates, or Hippocrates, as he Dr. Prasad talks about it? But it's who is he, and why would he make such a statement? So let's take a minute as we open up this opportunity to discuss gut health, and see who this individual was and where he fits in history. And then we're going to carry that forward and then jump into a conversation about how incredible gut health is, and why this omega-3 is now a big aspect, or that fourth leg to the chair that supports, or the stool that we're sitting on. So here we go with who is Hippocrates.
Hippocrates was the father of medicine. He was a physician that produced numerous works that based the practice and theory of medicine upon scientific observations and the reporting of those observations. The Hippocratic corpus shows us an understanding of the workings of the human body, exact records of observations and conclusions that there were certain morbid signs indicating particular diseases are in his works. He realized that these morbid signs ran their course and led to either death or recovery. He also recognized that the patient could aid in his own recovery by altering his lifestyle. This still proves true today when we consider that behaviors are the major contributing factor to the #1 killer in society, which is heart disease. Hippocrates' greatest importance in the history of medicine may have been his influence upon a later writer named Galen.
So this is part of a series where it talks about these different individuals and what they contributed. But it's just amazing, he being credited as the father of medicine, how what a difference it makes. Now let's just take what was thousands of years ago, like 2,500 years ago, and move forward into a well, I'll just have him introduce himself here. Here we go. Just a moment.
As a gastroenterologist working in 2022, I'm very aware that gut health is really important. But of course, that's a very ancient idea. Hippocrates, 2,500 years ago, the very father of modern medicine, taught his disciples, and I'm sure you've heard this quote, all disease begins in the gut. And what I've discovered as a gastroenterologist is that all disease begins in the gut, but also all health begins in the gut. And I think that's a long answer to a simple question. But of course, the very role of our digestive system in our day-to-day health, regenesis, rebuilding, repair, as well as the social importance of being able to enjoy our food. I mean, I think gut health is having a real moment right now, and deservedly so.
Interesting perspective there. And having just described to all of you where church in the park with our neighbor who is the pastor invited us down, and it wasn't just the sermons that were preached, the traveling I don't know what they call themselves, but they were out of Texas. They came through, they spoke. had the baptisms, and then everybody got together and we ate, we consumed food together. And it was sitting across the picnic tables there in the Bowery and just getting to know each other. So much of what we do is socially a part of not only keeping ourselves sustained, but there is that social element of well, it's like last evening with our guests that are in town. What did we do? We had a lot of activities during the day, but then we go out to dinner, and that is just part socially of how we're sustaining ourselves. But it's important, though, that in particularly a meal like we had today, a picnic in the park, and you can imagine just all of the, people were bringing their own, they brought desserts, they brought salads, they brought, just fruit trays and relish trays and chips and, the hot dogs and the hamburgers. And that, you can understand what it's like going to a picnic in the park, and you're wondering all of this stuff that you're eating, how much of it is good for you, how much of it is not. But really what it comes down to is that microorganism balance that is in our gut, and how important it is for us to maintain that balance, and how I would just absolutely love to go to these social opportunities to eat, but I was hung up on what I could and couldn't eat. And some of that was because I started to believe that there were things that I had developed allergies to, and that it's just those foods don't agree with me. If I do that, I'm going to pay for it down the road. And it's been amazing as we've taken this last year, utilizing the probiotic prebiotic formulation that Dr. Prasad has put together, how that has changed my approach to these types of social get-togethers and eating. And it was because of not necessarily what I was eating, but the condition, the balance that my gut is in. So let me share this next little video. This is a scientist. I don't really understand her background. I didn't dig into it. I just found this video, but it's a really good explanation as to what a difference there can be when we've got the right microorganisms in our gut. And so let me share this with you, and then we'll come back and I can share a little bit more. So here we go.
Good bacteria also play a very important role in detoxification. They're like the garbage trucks of the gut. They go through, pick up all the rubbish, and then shunt it out through the feces. But if you don't have enough beneficial bacteria, you don't have enough garbage trucks to take out the trash. So you get this accumulation of toxicity in the gut, which can affect the whole body. And if you experience constipation, so if you're not having a complete evacuation every single day, not only does that mean that you don't have enough garbage trucks to take out the trash, but the garbage trucks that you do have can't get to the tip, if that makes sense. So you're getting this, toxic wasteland happening in your gut, and that can affect every body system, including the brain. So that's why it's so important to have, good bowel motions every single day, because the constipation really does make life pretty miserable after a while. So 80% of the immune system is also actually located in our gut, which is pretty amazing. So if we have a compromised gut flora, we have a compromised immune system. So we're more likely to catch every cold and flu that's going around, ear infections, chest infections, autoimmune issues. And the gut bacteria also actually ensure the health and integrity of the gut wall. So you could imagine the gut wall as being the soil and the bacteria as being the grass. And if you imagine a field, if you were to overgraze the grass, the soil would become exposed and start to erode. And that's what actually can happen in our gut over time, that when we damage and deplete that beneficial layer of bacteria that protects the gut wall, our gut wall becomes more exposed and starts to erode. So rather than having these really tight junctions that don't let a lot through, those gap junctions in our gut can become more porous, which means that undigested food particles can pass through, and that can lead to food allergies and intolerances. And also toxins and microbes can pass through the gut wall. So this creates this general toxicity in the gut, which makes you vulnerable to the development of autoimmune issues, neurological issues, and psychological issues. Now, just on the point with the allergies, because food allergies and intolerances are on the rise, and a lot of people will spend a lot of money getting tested for intolerances. So they'll go and get tested and they'll come home with a list of maybe 10, 20 foods that they're intolerant to, and they'll remove those foods and they will experience a temporary improvement in their symptoms. However, it's not the food that was causing the problem. It's this underlying gut dysbiosis, or imbalance of bacteria in the gut, and the leaky gut. So what you inevitably find is that people who have removed the foods, the problematic foods that they were intolerant to, they start to react to more and more foods. So they remove those and again, temporary improvement, but then they start reacting because they haven't addressed the underlying cause of the intolerance. It's not the food that's the problem. It's this underlying leaky gut. So it's not to say that in testing for intolerances is a waste of money, but you actually need to address the gut in order to improve your health and manage the intolerances. And you can actually even cure yourself of a lot of these intolerances as well by working on the gut.
So quite a bit of information there as she's sharing all the way from our evacuations to as I was talking about my own life, the change that I've experienced having the probiotic in my system is that whole relationship with food. I can go to an event like we had today, a picnic in the park, and not fear being triggered and have concerns and issues for a hour or two or a day or two following that type of an event, because of just taking something that is, I don't have the bottle here on my desk, but having a probiotic, prebiotic formula that has gone in and balanced out my gut to a point where some of that lining, that gastrointestinal or stomach lining, has been able to repair and regenerate and heal, if you will. In fact, that reminds me that I just kind of jumped into things here tonight. And before we really start talking about the Micro Daily products, I need to pull up this disclaimer for everybody. Please follow along with me as I read. These statements and comments have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. This information is for educational purposes only and includes information on recent advances in research on micronutrients. Engage, the micronutrient company, does not claim that our products diagnose, treat, cure, heal, or prevent any disease or injury. Engage's products do, however, address our deficiencies and provide our bodies with the nutrition we are lacking. Nothing here is intended to be a substitute or a substitute for treatment or a visit to your primary healthcare provider. So that having been stated, we are free to continue on with the discussion that we're having right now. And that is this relationship that we all have with food. I mean, as I mentioned, I was also concerned because I thought I had developed some food allergies, but it wasn't food allergies at all. It was just this dysbiosis that Dr. Prasad talks about, how that if we get the microorganisms balanced in our body, not only does our guts do much better with our relationship with food, it can also make a difference for us mentally. In fact, that's the next video that I want to share with everybody. Those of you who've been following our gut health installments, our educational opportunities on Wednesday night, you know that I've shared this video a couple of times before, but it really it just it sets the stage for a belief and an understanding that when we work on our gut, we're also working on our brain. And so let me just share this with you. Like I said, so many of you have seen this before, but this is Dr. Tracy Marks. She has a YouTube channel, and I just recorded a segment that she has done, and so I suggest that you go out if you're interested in learning even more information about how closely related the gut is to the brain. Visit Dr. Tracy Marks' YouTube channel. Understand some of the things that she is doing. In fact, she would be a great one to reach out and share the significance that MicroDaily has as we balance somebody's micronutrients and we correct that balance. And then we also take the very next approach, and that is what we're talking about tonight. That's our probiotic. Prebiotic, and then we carry that into the collagen, the difference the collagen can make. And then we're going to find out about it tomorrow night, you guys. Omega-3 daily. I'm going to keep teasing you throughout today's meeting with that. But let's listen to Dr. Tracy Marks as she talks about the gut and its direct relationship and association with the brain. So here we go with Dr. Marks.
Your gut and your brain talk to each other. And when the gut talks, the brain listens. I'm Dr. Tracy Marks, a psychiatrist, and I make mental health education videos. Your intestines has about 39 trillion microorganisms in it. And yes, I said trillion. We call this collection of organisms the microbiome, and it consists mostly of bacteria, but it also contains viruses and fungi. Collectively, it weighs about 3 pounds, which is the same weight as your brain. We feed these organisms and they produce chemicals that we need. They send messages to the brain through the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is cranial nerve number 10 that originates in the brainstem, and then it travels down your neck and alongside your carotid arteries, and then into your chest, and then branches out and sends out feelers to control your internal organs in your abdomen and your chest, including your intestines. It's the longest nerve that originates in the brain and not only controls the contractions of your gut, which is called peristalsis, but it also controls your heart rate. So it's a super important nerve. And that's what the microbiome uses to send messages directly to your chief operating officer, your brain. That's probably more than you wanted to know about the vagus nerve, but I couldn't help myself. The vagus nerve is important in triggering a relaxation response. More on that in another video. We know that people who are depressed and anxious have very different microbiomes than people who are not depressed. With depression, you have a higher number of bad bacteria that produce inflammatory chemicals. They send these inflammatory chemicals back to the brain and they get distributed in the body. So the ideal scenario is to have a diverse population of bacteria strains. Yes, even the microbiome values diversity. Even though the microbiome contains viruses and fungi, it's mostly bacteria, so I will refer to it as your gut bacteria. What makes you have good versus bad bacteria? Several things. Diet and medications. Diets high in processed foods, sugar, red meat, and fast food promote the bad bacteria. And lots of medications, and not just antibiotics, can change the population of your gut. Your age. As you get older, your bacteria population becomes less diverse. Your sleep. Bacteria are sensitive to circadian rhythm changes, so poor sleep promotes bad bacteria and increases inflammation. And then activity level. Aerobic activity improves the diversity of your microbiome. The connection between having poor microbiome health and depression is so strong that research has shown that transplanting feces containing the bacteria from a non-depressed individual to a depressed individual treated the depression. So we know that this is a real thing that matters, but unfortunately, it's not practical to do fecal transplants because of the risk of transmitting infection. Plus, there's just something about having someone else's feces injected into your body that just doesn't sit right. No pun intended. So until we have maybe an artificial option, you have to boost your own gut health. And here's some suggestions.
So Dr. Marks says there that we need to take that responsibility ourselves. We need to boost our own gut health. Interestingly enough, when the probiotic, prebiotic, in fact, you're still seeing it on the label, when we introduced it here just almost a year ago, it said probiotic boost. Well, over that last year of use and working with Dr. Prasad, we are now under the assumption, because we've experienced that the probiotic is much more than a boost, because it is a probiotic prebiotic formula where we're putting not only the right microorganisms into our gut. In fact, let's just take a look while we're talking about it. Let's go in and look at the let's see. I've got the label. Here we go. I'm going to pull it up here in front of the camera. We have heat and acid resistant strains. And looking at this, there's actually 14 different genus, species, and strains of our proprietary probiotic blend. A probiotic is the actual microorganisms themselves. Down in that next panel is the prebiotic. And as Dr. Prasad has described that for us, it is the food that the microorganisms in the probiotic portion of this capsule like to eat. And we get those into our guts. It travels down through our digestive tract, goes through the stomach. And most of what we're talking about, in fact, Dr. Tracy Marks mentioned it there in her video, where if you were to take out all of those microorganisms and weigh them, they would be about the same weight as our brain. Now, we're not talking about all the fecal matter, the poop, but those kind of things in there. We're talking about just the weight of all of those microorganisms, which is significant. If you understand there's that many that are in there, well, let's approach that in such a way that we're putting the right ones back in and we're letting them flourish. The last time that I had Dr. Prasad on a call on gut health, he talked about actual lab work, studies that he and his scientists, his researchers accomplished. And these were back in the 1980s, where even though you've got the right bacteria in there, even though we're supplementing with it, it takes about 5 to 7 days, and these will move through the entire digestive tract, that whole system, and they will go out just like that first video that we shared, where the young lady talks about the garbage trucks that are carrying things out. So not only do we have to keep populating our gut with these so that we have enough garbage trucks to take out the garbage, but as Dr. Marks talked about, what happens during that process of fermentation, these fibers being eaten by the microorganisms, what they off-gas, what they then create for the body are neurotransmitters. And those neurotransmitters are things like GABA that Dr. Marks just talked about. They're things like serotonin, which is a feel-good hormone. Those things are actually created by our bodies in our guts by these microorganisms. So it's just, to me, absolutely fascinating. Over the last almost year of teaching you, helping you understand more about the gut, I've learned so much myself, and it just empowered me, like today. being able to go to the picnic in the park and understand that, yes, what I ate there at the park, because of the social situation and where we're at, I wasn't picking through. I can eat that and I can't eat this and I can't eat that. And how about this? And is that gluten free or is that not? All of those things, even though I'm aware of them, they used to be big triggers. And now I can enjoy these things. And really, that's what I want to try and convey or get across to you today, that as we take these incredible products, that things change in our gut. In fact, I'm going to share this, pull this next one up. We can actually trust our guts because of what Dr. Prasad has put into it, because it is the right combination. It is the right quantity. It is the right form, and his seal is on every one of his products. I mean, there's not another, there's other manufacturers out there. There's other brands, but nothing has the world's first radiation biologist, PhD, have his life work devoted to it. And the way that he has put things together is amazing. We go into the gut health and what Dr. Roberts, Tracy, what was her name again? Anyway, sorry. What she was talking about is just this: a healthy gut produces as much as 60 to 90% of the neurotransmitters involved in mental wellness. So if your gut is not right, no wonder there is just raging cases of depression and anxiety and, kind of a helplessness. It's because there's so much of this is happening in the gut with the right gut. The gut cells, including good bacteria, send signals to the brain via the nerves and the hormones. We've just talked about Dr. Tracy Marks. These include signals for hunger and fullness. How many of you knew that it goes beyond this? You start getting your gut right, and you're correcting your micronutrient deficiencies. You're not as hungry. You're not as triggered. You don't have those sugar cravings. I mean, it was there. Yes, I had some of the desserts, because when you've got, entire tables full of just desserts, you're going to want to have a few of those, but they don't trigger, because I realized that a lot of the bad bacteria, the bad microorganisms that are in my gut, they are the ones that were craving the sugar. They are the ones that I'm blaming. Because as soon as they're gone, as soon as that dysbiosis, that being out of balance in the gut was taken care of, the right microorganisms don't trigger the cravings like the bad ones. It's those bad ones that need to be able to survive in your gut, and so they're gonna cause you to crave sugar. They're gonna cause you to eat very artificially flavored foods. They crave those types of things. So it's not you, it's them. I know I'm kind of just rambling here a little bit. We're 40 minutes into what we were discussing here in regards to our gut health, but let's just open it up, have a little bit of conversation, answer some questions about gut health, and then we'll talk just briefly about the Omega-3 Daily, which launches tomorrow, just a few hours from this. So we're talking about 26 or so hours from right now. We're going to know, it's time we finish up here. Yeah, it'll be about 26 hours. So any questions from anyone here? I know, Barbara, you've got your microphone open already. I don't know if that was by accident.
Yes. I meant to press the raise hand. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I was just kind of excited a little bit. But anyway, my question is, I feel I have everything that Dr. Marks and all of our different, demonstrations said. So how much probiotics should I be taking? How many? Because I have a serious gut problem.
How many have you been taking, or have you taken any so far?
Yes, I have. I've only been taking, I'm kind of ashamed to say it, one before eating.
Okay. So you're taking 3 a day? So one before each meal?
No, just one in the morning. So I'm cheating myself, huh?
Yes, I would highly recommend, and I know that the bottle of probiotics is only a 30 count bottle, but I would recommend, as you're starting, particularly if you're really out of balance or you've been on a lot of antibiotics before
Yes.
this, I would go a minimum of 1 in the morning and 1 at night right before bed. In fact, you may want to do that 2 in the morning and 2 at night. I knew I was going to the park today. I knew these things were going to be happening. And so I got up this morning and I took 2, and I'm going to take 2 before I go to bed tonight. So that would be like 4 bottles a month if I were doing that many every day, but I'm not. But just give your body a little more support by putting more of those healthy microorganisms in. Does that make sense?
Yes, and that's on an empty stomach always, right?
No, it doesn't matter.
Oh, really?
Doesn't
Oh,
matter.
I thought I had to take it on an empty stomach.
Nope.
Okay,
No.
great.
And that's why a lot of the other probiotics, they're saying, yes, take it on an empty stomach because they are not acid resistant. They're not heat resistant. And so if you take it on empty stomach, it doesn't throw all those gastrointestinal juices in that are full of acids and ruin those other products. So no, this can be taken with or without food. Dr. Prasad has really done us a solid, a big favor here putting together his formulation.
Thank you so much to the Micro Daily family. I appreciate everything.
Thank you for being here with us, Barbara. All right, so we have Angelique Greer who has her hand up. Go ahead, Angelique.
Hey,
So
Jeff.
everything is related in our body. How we eat.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Go ahead, Angelique.
Okay, so I'm listening to you talk about the depression.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about the young people, the teenagers and the 20-year-olds. They're all being put on antidepressant medicines now, going to therapists. Do you think that that's possibly related to the gut?
It's not just possibly, it is, I think, the biggest contributing factor to their depression, that and then the lack of proper nutrition, which is solved by the Micro Daily like EMF product. Those two could solve so many issues.
Because a lot of kids, they do go to McDonald's, Burger King.
Yeah, and you know what?
Name
And they will continue. They will continue to do it. You're not going to be able to, yank them out of that whole social type situation. What you do is you just add enough of the good microorganisms in there that, just like myself, I can go out and do a party in the park and not have any issues.
Okay, thank you. This was wonderful. Wonderful.
My pleasure. Great to be here with our Micro Daily family. All right, so we've got Lula J, and then somebody else's hand. Well, their microphone is open, but go ahead, Lula J. You'll just need to unmute your microphone by pressing the little microphone icon down in the lower left-hand corner. Whether it's on your phone, you did a good job raising your hand.
Oh, okay. Here I am.
Perfect.
So
okay.
I was wondering, well, with this new product concerning the gut, having to do with the Barrett's esophagus, will the product work or help with that particular gut issue?
Absolutely. Most definitely. Yes. It's not going to be an overnight fix, but I can tell you right now that there are individuals out there that instead of taking antacids, Pepto-Bismol for an upset stomach, Tums, those that really get just horrible heartburn, instead of approaching it with the calcium carbonates and those other type of, hey, let's quickly change the pH of the gut, they're addressing that same situation, taking 2 or 3 of the probiotics.
Okay. All
Just
right.
it'll go that fast. In fact, yeah, we ought to have another call and have people come back on and just say, hey, the last time you got acid indigestion or you had just a raging case of heartburn, how quickly did yours go away by taking a couple of the probiotics?
Okay. I really appreciate that because they want you to stay on the proton pump forever. And
Totally.
it tells you clearly on there that it's not good. And so I'm going to give this a try and we'll let you know.
Well, and absolutely. And I look at the chat here. Freddie says, I had trouble with acid reflux, no more since taking Microdaily and the probiotic.
But of course, acid reflux and the Barrett's esophagus is a bit more intensive because I understand it could lead to cancer. That's why I'm really concerned about that and want to work on it.
Absolutely. No, it is just getting that balance corrected. Our body wants to correct it. It's just, yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Betcha. You bet. Let us know. This will be fun. All right.
I will.
Yeah. James, you have your hand up. Go ahead.
Yeah. I have a lady who is very sickly, and I'm trying to get her to get a subscription. But the thing is, she's so sickly and forgetful. I mean, how much probiotic would be good to start her out on?
I like to start most everybody out with a 1 in the morning and 1 at night approach. I know that's going to burn through a bottle faster than a month, but when I set somebody up, I'll usually get them either a bottle or a box of the Microdaily EMF and the probiotic. But then I'll set their subscription to run again about 2 to 2.5 weeks later, so that I can have them take a little extra. So have them take 1 in the morning and 1 at night, right along with the Microdaily EMF. So that's also a morning and an evening dose. But just most individuals walking around out there, and I'm definitely the poster child for it. I had gut issues, even though I was taking really good care of myself with the micronutrients. It's just I did not have the right microorganisms in my gut, and so I was in my mind developing all of these food allergies.
So it would be good if she take the EMF along with the probiotic.
James, absolutely. Start everybody on one, the Microdaily EMF. That's a must. That's going to do more for the body.
Yeah.
But then add the probiotic right in as a very close second to that. And then I'm almost thinking, I've been taking the omega-3s now since Friday. So I had two doses on Friday, 2 doses on Saturday, and 1 dose today. I feel different. It's just right here on the bottle. It says naturally promotes brain health, healthy heart, healthy inflammation response, cognitive function, and immune system health. It's you guys are going to love it. I mean, we're going to all learn so much more about it tomorrow with Dr. Prasad. The slides that they put together, the PowerPoint is going to be absolutely amazing. And you should see the video that we have. Helen and I were right there at the manufacturing facility. I completely gowned up, suited up, had to have the hairnet and the gloves and everything. I went in right on into the manufacturing on the line and got videos of this coming together for us. Could not be more excited about it. And that relationship that we have with the manufacturer, he opens up and talks about how unique this formula is of our omega-3, how it's never ever been done this way. The combination of the different things, guys, I'm telling you, I just bring everybody tomorrow night for this launch. The information, the education that we're going to be able to acquire, and then the timer is going to start ticking. There's going to be a promotion on this, but the promotion is going to run from tomorrow night when it's launched through the end of this month, and then we'll never see it again as far as a promotion like you're going to experience. So Horace, you're one of my co-hosts, and you've got your hand up, and I know you're super excited about the Omega-3 Daily. What's your question?
I am definitely excited about the new Omega-3. Can't wait for it. But anyway, Bev has been kind of sick lately. She's had some flu-like symptoms.
Okay.
She takes the probiotic once in the morning and one in the evening. Should she increase her dose, David?
Yeah,
Jeff.
If she's got some gut issues that are going on, well, I don't want to say indigestion, but if there's are issues there, absolutely increase that to 2 and 2. I know individuals that have taken as many as, and I'm just telling you, they're super dosing and they're having incredible experience. Because I know people that have been taking as many as 6 and 6.
Wow.
Okay. Because we're that out of balance, because we're just that messed up. And so, yeah, I mean, it's not 6 and 6 for, 6 months by any means, but it is just, there's that much going in. And I would, yeah. So,
okay. So would she increase it by 2?
She's doing 1 and 1 right now.
Right.
Okay. Try just for the rest of today, and then tomorrow go 3 and 3 for just that day and a half.
Okay.
So for the next 3 doses, make them 3 capsules.
Gotcha.
Okay. And then let us know on there. I mean, there's just, all you're doing is just trying to change that ratio as quickly as we can.
Okay. Sure will.
Okay. Freddie's saying right there, well, let me go to Sonia Anthony. Is there anything that can be done to heal the skin from a very bad scrape on an arm, its entire length of the lower arm? Thank you, Horace, for coming on screen here with me. Sonia, you know what? I would take the Microdaily EMF or the purple bottle or the green bottle, doesn't matter. Any one of those mixed with some organic coconut oil in a ratio of 3 capsules to 1 tablespoon. I would put that on there and then cover it with something just to keep it from rubbing off or staining something else if it's the Microdaily EMF. Abrasions are difficult, but we've done the same thing with burns and had amazing results. We've had the same type of thing with many different skin irritations and eruptions. So that's what I would suggest. So Freddie's saying, invite everyone you know. This is a good one tomorrow. Absolutely, you guys. And Jerry, yeah, that the works, the poultice. So create that paste, 3 capsules to 1 tablespoon. And if the skin is raw enough and you don't want to put it right on the wound, put it on a piece of gauze or a bandage or something, and then cover the wound with that. So all we're doing is we're just trying to put the micronutrients right where they're going to be used. Dr. Prasad talks about it going locally. Locally is to the area that's being affected by it. And we've just had amazing experiences that way with individuals, all the way from spider bites and bee stings and sunburns and ear infections and toothaches. Boy, I just just about your first aid kit should have Microdaily EMF in the capsule so that you can mix that with coconut and go topically. The first aid kit should also have the Microdaily Hydro in there, because truly just opening that pack up, as tart as it is, just like I did here as we started out today's meeting, unless you've done it, you can't describe how clear your mind gets and how focused your thoughts can be. It's just amazing. So let's see. I'm looking at a direct message here. All right. So it's somebody who missed a lot of our discussion tonight. I know that Jonathan will post this onto YouTube. It is being streamed live right now. We got about 3 minutes left. It has totally been my honor to try and fill some pretty big shoes here with Dr. Prasad, the world's just incredible. Dr. Prasad knows so much. And it's just been my pleasure to kind of sit at his feet and learn these things about the gut as we have gone over the last year. And so many of these experiences are my own. They're what's happened to me because I have changed my relationship with those microorganisms and given my gut that time to heal, to get that lining right back to where it needs to be, because I'm not triggered with all of these things that are happening. So yeah, this has been pretty an amazing journey. And it's why I felt comfortable just filling both Jonathan's and Dr. Prasad's shoes tonight, just me. But you know what? I've got all of you, my Microdaily family members that are asking great questions. You're giving fantastic responses, even mentioning that in the chat. So Jerry says, you did really great stuff regarding micronutrients. So thank you. I'm trying to learn as we go. But you guys, tomorrow, the launch. In fact, I'm gonna just pull this up in front of everybody. You're invited to a special launch event. We're thrilled to invite you to the exclusive Zoom launch of our latest product, Omega-3 Daily. This potent supplement formulated by Dr. Kedar M. Prasad is packed with essential fatty acids that support healthy aging. There are the details about it. This is just a picture of it. I did a screenshot so that it's not a clickable link, but you've got all the information there. Look inside your app. Look inside. You should be getting an email tomorrow about this. It says during the event, Dr. Prasad will delve into the benefits of Omega-3 Daily, how it supports brain health, heart wellness, cognitive function, immune system health, and a healthy endocannabinoid defense system, and how it enhances the absorption of oil-soluble micronutrients from other Microdaily products. Don't miss this chance to be the first to learn about Omega-3 Daily. So this is the event launch. This is what you're seeing. Look for this flyer as it comes out about tomorrow. You guys, this truly is life-changing. This is kind of going to round out, well, it's that fourth leg of the stool. We can sit on three. If you've got just a two-legged chair or two-legged stool, you need to have your own legs out there to support it. We've had three for the last year. If you look at Microdaily EMF, you look at the probiotic, which we talked about tonight, and you look at the Collagen Daily, that's three. But you add the fourth leg to it, that it really becomes steady. And you understand that, that fourth leg truly is significant. And Dr. Prasad for 6 years has wanted to introduce this product, but he wanted to do it in such a way that you have a belief about the others. Microdaily, we already have that incredible understanding about how powerful the Microdaily EMF is. Then we did collagen. And, so many people are having an incredible result with the collagen. And then we understand now, having had the probiotic out, the significance that probiotic makes in our lives. And it's going to be complete right here with the omega-3. And I'm telling you guys, looking at this label, it's you've got vitamin E as D-alpha ketopher. I can't pronounce it. Wild caught omega-3 fish oil, EPA, DHA, borage oil, GLA, organic flaxseed oil, ALA. I mean, there's 4 different oils that I've talked about right there, and Dr. Prasad is going to reference the ratio. And on top of all of that, it has vitamin E succinate. And Dr. Prasad was the one who discovered vitamin E succinate. And we're going to learn tomorrow that vitamin E succinate actually acts as an antioxidant in this formula to keep it from going rancid, because you could not put all of these oils together and not have it exposed to light or air or those types of things and have it affected. But because of Dr. Prasad's research, because of his understanding, because he was the one that discovered vitamin E succinate, this has vitamin E succinate in an omega-3 because of Dr. Prasad's understanding. It's just, you guys, you're going to learn so much more about it tomorrow, and I'm going over time, and I'm I'm taking away from what you're going to learn tomorrow. But come back and be part of it. Thank you for being here, for allowing me this hour of education, understanding, and the connection that we have with each other, our Micro Daily family. So that's it, you guys.
Thank you, Jeff.
Well, thank you, Jeff. We appreciate you, buddy.
Thank you, Jeff.
Thank you.
My
Good
pleasure.
job.
Good job so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate everything.
Very informative.
Thoroughly
Thank
enjoyed.
you, Jeff.
Oh, there she is.
Thank you so much.
Good night, everybody.
Thank you, Jeff.
Bye-bye.
Fun, you guys. Great to have you all here.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Bye-bye.
Come back tomorrow.
Love y'all.
Hey, Barbara, is that your
See you
picture?
tomorrow.
All right. See everybody.
See you tomorrow.
You bet. Thanks, co-hosts Errol and Horace. You did
You're welcome.
amazing.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
All right, you guys. Have a great evening, and understand,
All right.
yeah, this was on YouTube. I don't know if you can go back and immediately watch it again, or if Jonathan has to do something before we can do it. But I'm just grateful I was able to slip in and give them both some time off. Good night, everybody.
We appreciate you.
Have a
Take
great
care.
rest of
Good
your
night.
day.
Night.
Take care.
Where's our music, Jeff?
First lady's name.
I can't play music because it'll put a mark on Jonathan's YouTube channel, because
Oh, okay. Well, you all have a good evening. Thank
Yeah.
you.
I
Great job.
can do about
God
6
bless you
seconds.
all.
I can do about 6 seconds before they'll catch it. So I'll do that much. All right.
Okay.
Here we go, everybody. Take care.
Good night.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right.
Good
Bye-bye.
night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
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 Bye.
Let's go.